Hey you guys, how's it going? This is Zach D Productions here, and I am here with a kind of a recording type video. It's not really going to have me in it, and if this is something that you guys are interested in seeing in future uploads, feel free to let me know down in the comments. But for this video, I do want to talk about why 2019 could probably be one of the best years for music. Actually, I think it is one of the best years for music. I think it's probably been the best year for music since 2016, I'd say, at least. But I'll probably go as far to say that I think this year will be a better year than that year. And as far as 2018 goes, last year, I thought 2018 had a decent lineup of albums. My main problem with 2018's lineup of music, though, is the lack of metal albums. Now, of course, there might be some people that say, well, yeah, it was a great year for metal. Well, maybe, but not the kind of metal that I like. Now, don't get me wrong, I thought that there were a few good metal releases of last year, such as Victim of the New Disease by All That Remains and Firepower by Judas Priest. So yeah, there's been some good metal releases last year, but not too many. There's been more rock albums last year, and I think that was my main problem with it. Now, 2019 is really shaping up to be a very, very good year for music. I mean, there's been a lot of good metal releases recently. Albums by Soilwork, In Flames, Demon Hunter, Queensryche, and Dream Theater. And all their albums, their most recent albums, have been really good. The new Soilwork album doesn't quite hold up as much as the other albums do this year, but it's still a good album, I think. And it really is insane that we are in the third month of the year, and there has already been an overwhelming amount of great material this year so far. That's one thing that I could not say about 2018. I felt like we really didn't get into the chunk of things in 2018 till like mid-March or something like that, which I believe was when the latest Judas Priest album came out. And I would say that no matter what kind of metal fan you are, I think 2019 is going to have something for you. It's going to be a great time to be a metalhead. It's always years like this that are really great times to be a metalhead. I mean, whether you're a fan of metalcore, melodeath, prog metal, or even thrash metal. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of good material to look forward to, and there's even some new releases to come. New Killswitch Engage album later this year, new Megadeth, hopefully new Megadeth later this year, and who knows, maybe even a new As I Lay Dying album this year, but I'm not so sure about that because we never heard anything from the band. And it's also a possibility that August Burns Red could be dropping a new album later this year as well, but I am not so sure about that now. But I do know that they do have a Constellations tour coming up, in celebration of their 10-year anniversary of that album. But I'd really be surprised if August Burns Red doesn't release an album this year, since they do like to release a new album, every other year. But maybe their last EP was something to make up for it, but I could be wrong about that. Now, I can see why, if you are someone who likes modern rock the most, I can see why someone like you might think that 2019 will be a rather disappointing year for music, because really the only thing to look forward to this year as someone who mostly enjoys modern rock is the new Red album. Now, I myself am looking forward to the new Red album, and I would say that Red is probably my favorite modern rock band. But of course, as you guys know, modern rock is something that I've definitely moved on from, and it's something that the teens listened to back in the late 2000s and early 2010s. So with that said, I do think it's becoming rather irrelevant, but I still like Red. I'll still always, be a follower of them, and I'm looking forward to their new material, and as well as the 10-year anniversary edition of Innocence and Instinct. Now, I heard that they will be re-releasing that album on vinyl. Now, if it's only going to be on vinyl, I'll probably pick it up on vinyl. But if they'll release it on vinyl and CD, then I'll just go ahead and grab the CD. But regardless, it is something that I am interested in. And I would say that my most anticipated albums of this year have already come out, because my most anticipated albums of this year have came out this month and last month even. So if you are someone who is interested in being a metalhead, like if metal is something that you're looking to get into, I would say that 2019 would be a great way to start your metalhead journey, given that there's so much coming out this year and there's really going to be a lot to listen to. Like I said, I mean, there's just a lot to look forward to, and plus all the recent releases that have already come out that are just really great albums. So, with that said, guys, I do think 2019 will be one of the best years for music, and, well, of course, one of the best years for metal music in a long time, I think. Like I said, probably the best since 2016, but I do think that this year, I should say, will surpass 2016 in that regard. Although the only thing that kind of concerns me about this year is what's going to come in 2020 when everything else is coming out this year. Although I do believe that Anthrax and Trivium will be coming out with albums in 2020. And maybe the new Knives album as well, but we'll have to see about that. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Do you guys agree that 2019 will be one of the best years for metal and just one of the best years for music in general? I mean, there's definitely a lot to look forward to and a lot to listen to now that it recently dropped. So, with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.